What up? It's the Gopher Broke podcast. We're diving into some fun stuff today. You know, it's been a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back at it. Football offseason, spring ball is now in full effect, and so is the Gopher Broke podcast. Today, we're talking about pro day insights from the Golden Gophers, final draft thoughts, and then we're going to have a little draft of our own, drafting an all-time Gophers offense. You're going to decide which team is better. We'll get there today. What up, what up? It is Kane, Rob, Tristyn, Spann-Ford here with you at the Gopher Broke podcast. We are back after a little bit of a hiatus. You know, his kid was sick, my kid was sick, he was on a wedding trip, I was grinding on the work efforts. So overall, it has just been chaos, but we are back because spring ball is back, and that means Gophers are back, and we can't let you down there. So thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get podcasts and over on YouTube. Tell your friends about the channel, because from this day forward, we got one show a week for you on Golden Gophers, giving you all the greatest, especially with spring ball. I'll be popping into a couple of those practices. I was at the pro day. I'm going to see if we can get your boy Tristyn Spann-Ford a credential for next season. We'll see what happens. We're going to give you the content regardless, even if they kick us out. We're going to keep it going. But overall, excited to be back at it, talking Gophers with my boy Tristyn. How you been?
I've been wonderful. Wonderful. Like you said, we did have a few rocky weeks there where it was just chaos. We got back from vacation. The babies was sick. We spent like 2 nights in the hospital, 1 night in the hospital. But everything is good now. All is good. Oh, I was also on jury duty on top of that.
Man.
Only got called in once, though. And that's, we get paid for it. And so I was actually kind of excited to take a few days off. But
yeah, you were like, call me in as many days as you need. Just pay me.
Let me know what you need.
I'll
I just do my civic duty.
Right?
I just want to do my civic duty. But yeah, no, other than that, things were going well. They're going well.
I mean, so obviously with all the chaos and all the craziness going on, you've got to have a gripe for the show, right? You got something going on.
So this was 2 weeks ago, and this has to do with vacation. Vacation was lovely. It was so fun. I had a blast. Everyone had a blast. It was a great time. But planes and flight and air travel in general is possibly the worst thing ever to ever happen. I hate planes. I just can't do it. I can't wrap my brain around being in the air in a small tube. It doesn't make sense, and I hate it so much. And the flight back was just turbulence the whole time. It was literally just rocking back and forth. And I'm just gripped on my seat. My oldest is next to me, and he's not scared of flying. He's flown probably way more than I have. He's gone to all of Brev's games and stuff. And so he's flown more than me, not really as nervous as me, but I got to put on a brave face for him every time he looks at me. We feel a shake in the plane, and in my brain, I'm like, yeah, we're going down, but I got to just put on a smile. We're fine. Don't worry about it, son. It's safer than driving in a car. It's just, it's the worst. I hate flying. I hate it so much. So yeah, that was my gripe. I was
lying with a smile to your child. You were lying with a smile on your face.
I had to. I had to do it.
Hey, you know what though? I agree with you on the part of when you're actually in the air. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like, it's not calming to me. It's not relaxing or anything like that. I'm usually not too nervous with it all. But the thing I will say I like about vacation and travel, and maybe most people will think this is strange, but I really enjoy the pre part of like getting on a plane, not going through the security and all that, but I'm talking about the parts where you got through security. If you got there a little early, you can just kind of find your gate, but then you can kind of vibe, like go grab a bite or like just walk or like throw some headphones in and like just take it in. I love that part. That's the part where like grab a coffee, grab a quick drink or something, and then chill until it's ready to board. That's the part I enjoy.
Oh, yeah. No, you're not crazy for that part. I like that part, too. Chilling in an airport, I'm cool. Once I'm through security, I know I'm on time for my flight. I can't be late anymore. I love that part. Getting to the airport and being on the plane, that's the worst. I can't stand either parts of that. because I just first of all in my brain I'm gonna miss my flight. I'm gonna miss my flight. Get through security. I'm good, chilling. Second I step on that plane, I'm like, nope, I'm too big. This is not enough space for me. Get me out of here. I can't.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, so we're gonna turn to the Gophers because people are like, y'all have been gone for a minute, and now you're just talking too much. Get to my Gophers and get on with it. So let's get to it. Pro Day, Gophers Pro Day. They had 17 Gophers participating in different parts of the Pro Day aspect. There were 73 personnel from the NFL teams here on hand. Some teams had more than others. Obviously, the Vikings had a large presence, being the hometown school and whatnot, but it's always cool to go to the pro day. I've been to the last three now, and I feel like I always enjoy it because I can get to chat with a few of the players, especially the ones for who aren't at the pro day, but or like participating. But all the Gophers players usually show out for bits and pieces of it and things like that. So I usually chop it up with a few of them, kind of eavesdrop a little bit on some of the coach talk. I've chopped it up with a couple of the coaches as well. Talked with Coach Danny Collins, congratulated him on the defensive coordinator position. But my favorite thing is really seeing the Gophers that we've seen on the field for the last few days see their dreams potentially become a reality in these moments.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a couple Gophers had huge days. I don't know if you got to see some of the news through Twitter or anything like that, but guess what? Jack Henderson and Ethan Robinson balled out. And these are guys I think were on the border of like, could they be drafted? Will they be undrafted? And maybe they still are on that border. But I think the things they showed into this pro day yesterday, or I think they showed that if a team is willing to take a shot on them, they have the tools to do it. And I think that that was super exciting. Jack Henderson, my boy Daniel House, he was hand timing. I was standing right behind him. He clocked Jack Henderson at a 4.47 on the 40. And like we compared that with a couple other people around, like 4.47, four. I think somebody had a 4.44, somebody had a 4.49, like right in that kind of 4.4, late 4.4, early 4.5. That's where he was timing in at, which is great. He had a 10.8 on the broad jump, a 39.5 on the vertical jump. He came in at 203. I think he put up like 10 or 11 reps on the bench, but he was flying. He looked fast in the DB drills. He was working with the Cowboys defensive backs coach. So that was kind of cool to see.
Oh yeah.
And he looked real nice. Had a great, fantastic grab on one of the drills. It had the whole room oohing and on, so that was a great one. And then Ethan Robinson. The guy had a 42-inch vertical. 42 inches. Guess what?
Jumping out the gym.
Of all of the guys at the NFL Combine and the cornerback position, he would have beat all of them from the NBA or NFL Combine, not just by like a half inch or like a fraction, by 2 whole inches. He beat every cornerback that was invited to the NFL Combine by 2 whole inches. He actually had the second best vert jump of all of the players at the NFL Combine this year. Only one safety had a 43-inch vert, which would have been a little bit higher than him. So Ethan Robinson balled out there. He had a great broad jump. He did all right in the 40 as well. He held his own. So those are two guys I think really impressed. What do you think about hearing that, and does that change your opinion on maybe where they could fall?
It does, because I think a lot of coaches look at those intangibles like that's like that, just the raw athleticism. I do think a lot of coaches look at that stuff and it turns a lot of, it turns a lot of heads. And so especially like in an intimate setting like a pro day, those guys who are there are going back to their GM like, hey, this guy right here jumping out the gym. Like,
right. This is a dude we could look at in the 7th or 6th and be like, why not? Why
exactly.
wouldn't we take a shot?
No, and I didn't it's hard to get the stuff on Twitter because everyone's just posting all the highlights, like which I why would you want to? But it's hard to follow and get the whole thing. So that's what I was actually going to ask you, if you could pick one person who stood out the most, like who had the best pro day compared to where you had them before to now.
I would definitely say Jack Henderson was the biggest winner in my eyes, just because like from where I had him starting heading into this day to what I saw and what impressed me, and I think what impressed scouts there, I definitely think he probably came the furthest as far as maybe not having as much traction and now maybe putting his name on a couple people's boards in those late rounds. I would love to see him sneak in. So he'd probably be my biggest winner of the day.
Love that. I love that. That's what I just seeing like the highlights and stuff on Twitter is not always enough. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I
it's
get that. I get that. I mean, if anything, the one that I don't think anybody disappointed by any means, but the one that it still hurts a little, in my opinion, probably is Justin Wally because he still has a cast on, so he wasn't able to do
yeah,
everything.
that's
And that's
tough.
not his fault, obviously. I mean, he's still recovering from an injury that happened during the season, but it definitely doesn't play into his favor. So a lot of people got to rely a bit more on the film and who they
Yeah,
see as the person as opposed to like he couldn't bench press, obviously. He still did the vert, but I still think it hindered him a little bit. Like personally, I don't think that he was able to do probably everything he wanted to do, but I don't think it like hurt his stock by any means.
yeah. No, I feel like a lot of times it's you look at the intangibles and it kind of you get noticed, and then they go to the tape after that. Either way, so I mean they're gonna look at the tape is what it's gonna come down to. So I think it'll be fine for him. Hopefully,
For sure. One thing I'll call out too, Max Brosmer is such a stud, dude. I mean, this dude is such a leader. Like the one thing he had mentioned to the media after, but I noticed right away, he's working with his QB coach Quincy Avery, who works with multiple NFL guys, CJ Stroud, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts. He's worked with all these dudes, right?
yep,
And Max Brosmer's been working with him since he was in like the seventh or eighth grade. So he ran his quarterback throwing session and everything looked good. The ball was zipping out and everything like that. There were maybe one or two misses throughout the entire day. He probably threw the ball about 40 times. But the biggest thing for me is how he started his throwing session. He made sure to announce who every single person was that was going to be running routes and catching the ball from all of the Minnesota guys, but also the other guys that come to the Gophers Pro Day. There were guys
yeah.
from Duluth, from Mankato State. There were guys from other schools. Michael Brown Stevens was back. JJ, I'm tripping on his last name, but he was a offensive lineman for Minnesota,
Oh,
and then he transferred
JJ
to
Gadet,
Illinois State. Yes,
Gadet.
JJ Gade,
I just
and
saw him at Booty had a camp. Our oldest had a camp at Tanner Morgan's camp,
okay.
and he was out there.
Yes, but like there were like over 10 guys from other programs that were at this Gophers Pro Day as well, and any of them that were catching passes for him in that throwing session, he called them out, said where they're from and everything like that, made sure the scouts knew who they were. And when asked about that after when we had a quick media session after, he was like, I came from a small school, and a lot of these guys have come from small schools, and it felt important for me to give them credit where credit's due. If they make a big moment or a big play, I want the scouts to have heard their name, so that way they know like what to look for or what to really dive into to give them that recognition because he felt that was important. And like, I don't think he's doing that for show. That's just who
No,
he is. Like, that's the type of leader, the type of guy he is. And I think that that just speaks volumes. I would draft this dude on that alone. Like, just his leadership, his charisma, his football IQ, and his humbleness to lead a team. I don't care if he's going to be your third string. I don't care if he's going to be your backup or if he eventually works his way onto the field in some Brock Purdy like fashion. Like, the person that he is worth taking a shot on in the draft alone.
no, I agree, and it goes back to what I just said. Like if that type of stuff on the field impresses them and gets you a spot, they go to the tape, and on top of that, like he has the tape, he has the film, so it would be crazy for a team for all 32 teams to pass up on him 6 times. You know what I'm saying, or however many draft picks they have. So I
Right.
think that is awesome. I didn't know any of that, so that's crazy.
Yeah, so shout out to Max Brosmer. Shout out to the Gophers who got to do that NFL Pro Day, Gophers Pro Day. KOC was in the building, Quessy was in the building, B Flow was in the building.
Hey,
Chuck Pagano from the Ravens, former Colts head coach, was in the
Pagano.
building. So I mean, like there were some dudes there. It was pretty cool overall. Hopefully these guys get to live their dream. But let's shift it into our final draft thoughts because the draft is
I'm
about
down.
a month from right now. And we're not going to keep talking about the draft because spring ball for the Gophers is coming up. So, yes, once the draft happens, we'll probably talk about where some of these guys landed and whatnot. But this is the last time pre draft we're going to bring this up. It's time to move on to our Gophers 2025 season. So, final thoughts on the draft. I have a couple questions for you. I want to dive through if any players have changed in your mind as far as who will get drafted, where you would want to see them land. I know we did a little bit of that before, but ideas change. It's been like a month since we talked about that. So, first off, I want to say Question for you. Do you think the Gophers will have their most ever drafted players in 1 year? That record is currently 5, and it happened in 2020. Do you think they break that, tie that, or they miss the mark?
I think we break it by maybe one player. After pro day, after the combine, and again I'm biased in that the algorithm has me in this just Gopher positivity. But even when you just look at the numbers, like the Gophers did really well in the combine. Like these guys put up really solid numbers, and I think that this might be the year that we break the five players drafted, just because everyone, all those guys that we kind of had on the borderline, I think did enough to earn themselves a spot to get drafted, especially even if it's late, 6th and 7th round. I don't see why not. These guys have put up numbers. Everyone has the tape. Everyone has the film. So I would say that I am more confident that more players will than prior to pro day, prior to combine.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had to write it down. I had to see, like, in my head, I was like, maybe they'll tie it or something like that. So I started writing down the players that were all involved with this pro day, and I started writing them down. I was like, oh, we're breaking it. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
be broke. I think they're gonna get 7, and maybe that's optimistic of me, but I started to go down the line, and maybe some people have shifted for me. Some of them have moved down a little bit. A couple of them have moved barely into it. But I've got Ariante Ursary. I have him as a lock as a draft pick,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
I think he's round 1, round 2, somewhere in there. Lindenberg, I've got him as a lock. I've got Jai Joyner as a lock, and I've got Justin Wally as a lock. That's 4 right there. And for me, I think Ethan Robinson did enough in this.
yeah,
I had him as like
yeah.
a 7th round guy, maybe a UDFA. I think he did enough in this testing athletically and like just the build he had. He got invited to the East West Shrine Bowl and he showed up and he did all right there too. I think he's going to get drafted. I think he's almost a lock for me too. So that's 5. Now, depending on how you feel on Max, I think he's going to get drafted. I could see maybe he doesn't, but I think he will just from those intangibles I was saying, being able to go to the combine, speak with those offenses, speak with the board work, speak with why. He talked about in our media session that they would ask him, like, they'd put up his interceptions, they'd put up his mistakes, his worst plays, and ask what was going on, what did he see, why did he take this. And like, I know in those situations, those are the ones where Max will be able to actually put every single detail of, okay, at pre-snap I was looking at this is what I read, all of a sudden I took a shot here because I thought that this guy was going to drop, and all of a sudden he ended up shadow, I mean, he will
Oh
be able
yeah,
to speak it so intelligently that people will probably be like, damn, I see why he took that look. Like,
yeah,
so I think he's going to get drafted. So right there, that's 6 right there. That would be breaking it if that happened. I have fringe guys: Jack Henderson, Daniel Jackson, Danny Strigow, and Nick Callerup in like a co-Keith role. That's 4 guys. You need one of them to get to 7. And basically, if you throw Brosmer and Ethan Robinson into that, you need 3 of those like 5 guys to get in there to be able to break it significantly. So I'm definitely with you. I think they're going to break it this year.
yeah. No, that's exactly my thought process on it too. Was those fringe guys were more impressive. They were more overwhelming than underwhelming in the combine and in their pro day. Whereas I think if they come out and they just show they have an average showing, then they kind of stay there. But I think they all kind of took that step to really try to put themselves on the map. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. All right, big question. Did Ariante Ursary do enough to stay in the first round, or do you think that he's going to suffer the fate of the helmet school biases that always pushes our Gopher studs into the early second round? And you look at the guys that it's happened to. Boye Mafe has balled out in his 3 years. Tyler Newbin looked great in his
hmm
rookie year. Almost had 100 tackles in only 13 games. Had a forced fumble, got
oh yeah,
injured. Dude was balling. John Michael Schmitz, that whole Giants O line is a little kind of wonky, but he's a starter. He's a starter, been a starter for 2 years now. So, like, all 3 of those guys could have crept into the first round, ended up being second round. Antoine Winfield Jr., I mean, speaks for himself, should have been a first round pick. Like,
was the highest
so,
paid DB at one point.
right. So,
Yeah,
does Ariante Ursary get the Gophers kind of bias treatment pushed into the second, or do you think he sneaks into the first?
I think he sneaks in. I'm actually still pretty confident that he sneaks in. The way he moves is crazy for how big he is. I'm just gonna stick with that. I do. I think he sneaks in. Um, I think he definitely did enough. Like I don't think he did anything that was disappointing in the during the
Right.
combine or anything like that.
I
Like
haven't heard a negative thing about him.
no, exactly. And so unless he's in the meetings acting crazy, which I don't think is the case.
No.
I
I
think
mean, dude is funny. Like anytime
yeah,
you
that's what
give
I'm
him a
saying.
mic, he's
I really think he's a likable dude. So I think I think he'll be the first round guy that we've been waiting on.
I want to say it, but I'm taking the bias. I'm taking some
Oh,
helmet school. Some dude's gonna be like, oh, let's take a Ohio State tackle because
yeah, I
they
was
won
about
the
to
chip
say.
over the dude that's huge, moves well, has been a starter for 3 years,
Yeah, this
a
dude's
current
better be can't hit no
NFL
Buckeyes.
starter who was on the fringe of a Pro Bowl player this year. Was like, oh, Ariante Ursary's got next. Like this dude's gonna be him, and they're gonna be like, nah, forget all that. Ohio State, yep, here. It's this guy. Take him.
He was much better, but he didn't have no Buckeyes on his helmet.
Yo,
So
even my Packers fell into that trap. They took Josh Myers as their center. Dude has been a scrub over the last 4 years. They've started him out of spite, but he's been a scrub. So a scrub
oh,
so much that they didn't even re-sign him after his rookie contract, and now he went out to Ohio State East over in New York Jets Stadium with Justin Fields and all them boys. So I
ooh,
mean, come on now. Oh, get off the helmet school crap. We
for
need to
real,
get the talent. Let the talent be the talent.
for real.
All right. Last thing we're gonna do with this is I want to know. So I'm gonna list Gophers off. I'm not gonna list Elijah Spencer. I'm not gonna list Quinn Carroll. I'm not gonna list Tyler Cooper, Dragon Kesich, Marcus Major, Jaron Manningham, or Mark Crawford. I think all of those guys. It's probably looking camp invite. It's probably hoping UDFA, and you got to grind it out. Like respect
Oh
to
yeah,
them. Love all those dudes. Love what they did as Gophers. I don't see it happening. But everybody else that I had kind of already briefly mentioned, I'm going to list their name. I want you to pick around and I want you to say a team you would like them to be on. Not necessarily where you think they'll get drafted,
okay.
but like if everything went perfect, you think they would look good there, whether it's in the colors, whether it's in the
You know it's gonna.
system, or what
That's what it's
have
gonna
you.
be. This is
Yeah,
just
the
vibes. It's
colors for
gonna be
sure.
colors, uniforms. That's all it's gonna be.
All right, so first one, Ariante Ursary. You already said first round, but what's the team?
I think I said it before. Ravens. I like him on
Okay.
the Ravens. Just
I've got him in the second round, and I've got him with the Chiefs. So we want to see this man on a Super Bowl caliber
I was gonna
team.
say, go and get you
Let
the
him get
ring,
it.
big dog. Go and get you
Let
the
him
ring,
get it.
big dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Cody Lindenberg.
mm. Ooh, Cody Lindenberg off the top, linebacker.
What round?
I'm not gonna lie. Would he look good in a Patriots uniform? Oh, what
Bro,
round?
that's what
What
I
round
got listed right on the
is
top.
it?
That's what I put. I
I don't
put
know
the
why, but I
New
pictured that.
England Patriots. I had a backup just in case I put the Texans, but man, he screams Patriots to me. I don't know why, bro. It
The other
just
Patriots is what I was thinking. The only other one that I kept thinking of was the Panthers, but I didn't want to say it because I don't want him to play for the Panthers.
he could be
But
the next Luke Kuechly. You
that's literally what
know?
I was thinking in my brain. I'm thinking Luke Kuechly. I'm like, that's what he is. He is Luke Kuechly. That is just a general on the field.
What round though? You got to give me a round.
Oh, round. God, I'm nervous. See, now you got the helmet thing going in my brain.
I I at the pro day, I don't think Cody did anything bad, but I don't think he did anything that wowed either, which was
Yeah, that's why I'm
semi
nervous.
unfortunate. He did put up, I think, 20 or 21 on the bench press, which was nice, especially because he wasn't able to really do anything. His linebacker drills on the skill or on the field skills were all good, but like I don't think his 40 was crazy fast. I didn't really catch him in the cone. But overall, like I don't think he hurt himself, but I don't think he really did anything that was like, damn, we got to go up and get him. So for me, I've got him in the fourth.
I was gonna say that I was hovering around 5, but I didn't know if that was being disparaging or not. But I mean it's not disparaging. You get drafted, you get drafted.
Right,
That's gonna be
right.
great no matter what. But then I'll stick with my gut. I'll say fifth. I think hopefully somebody reaches up and grabs him though. There's gonna be a lot of disappointed teams that didn't take him.
All right, all right. Ja Joyner, I've got him in the fifth. What about you?
I had him in the fifth or sixth. And as far as the team, mm, Atlanta. I can't remember who I picked. I think I picked these teams already, but Atlanta.
I
I kind of
got
like him in a Falcons uniform.
I got a different bird. I got the Cardinals. I'm going with him back to Debo.
Oh, I could
Let them
see
cook.
that
Let
would
them
be
keep going.
great.
Yes, yes. So hopefully that works out. Justin Wally, I got him in the fifth. What about you?
I've been back and forth. The injury is what I'm hoping doesn't hold him back. I'm gonna say in the sixth too. I'm gonna say in the sixth, and I think it would be a good spot for him. Just go ahead and replace Ben St. Juste at the Commanders.
All right, all right. I put him in a different, almost similar city, but different team. Baltimore. I got him with the
Oh, okay,
Ravens.
okay, I can see that.
All right, Ethan
This seemed like a
Robinson.
East Coast. Who? Ethan?
Hmm.
Oh, Ethan, I like on the Falcons too. I don't know why. I don't know why the Falcons are stuck in my head, but
You're
I
just signing everybody up for
and
the
it's only in the Falcons throwback uniforms. That's the only
Falcons.
uniform I'm seeing these
The old
guys in.
Mike Vick, all black with the
Yeah,
weird
the all
Falcon
black,
looking straight.
the with the old school,
Yep,
just the solid
yep.
red helmet. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go sixth round for him too. I
I
got all the
also have,
Gophers going in the sixth round. It's
yeah,
just gonna be
right.
Gopher after
The
Gopher.
sixth round is the Gopher round for Tristyn Spann-Ford. I've got Ethan Robinson. I've got him sixth round as well, and I put him on my squad. I want to see him in green and gold. Let's make it happen. We need some cornerbacks. We don't need just one. We don't need just two. We need cornerbacks, multiple. So go on and get my boy Ethan Robinson jumping 42 inches, ready to try and lock up JJ. Let's get it. Let's get it.
That would have me in a pretzel. That would have me just in a pretzel trying to cheer for this guy.
All right, we got five more to go. So we'll go quick on these. Max Brosmer.
Seven. I'm gonna go seventh round just because people are the worst. And
I put him in the sixth, but I feel you.
yeah.
I definitely sixth, seventh is kind of that area you start to. If he sneaks into the fifth, bro, catch me
Oh,
just hyped. Catch me like talking all over Twitter, like, yeah, he gonna
I'm
be
ordering a
right.
jersey.
Forget all these quarterbacks. Brock Purdy 2.0. Actually, let's go six. Make it Tom Brady 2.0. Let's
There
get
we
it.
go. There we go. Brock Purdy to Tom Brady is quite the jump.
Quite the jump.
You skip so many levels of quarterbacking in
I
between
want all the levels. I want them all.
there. Oh,
Hell, you know what? Let's send him to the Raiders while we're
yeah.
at it. Let him work directly with Tom Brady
No.
and his boy from New Hampshire who got drafted in the sixth round. Oh, it's happening. This is fate, folks. I did not
Actually,
have the Raiders as my team, but I'm doing it. Sixth round, Tom Brady is the one who picks him, and his old boy from New Hampshire, Dylan Laube, the running back who he helped get drafted, sixth round to the Raiders, is fate. It's
I
fate.
kind of
Max
like that.
Grossman, sixth
Raiders are
round.
good with maxes. They'd be an all
There,
max team.
there you go. There you go. I mean, prior to that, I had listed either Cleveland. I would hate to see him on the Browns. I'm not going to lie to you, but Kevin Stefanski loves that type of quarterback. Like there's the
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins rumors going on right now, and also the Browns quarterbacks always suck. So I'm
yeah.
like, well, maybe he would actually get a shot if he like showed up and he's like the best, most prepared in the meetings,
You
and he
just throw
can
them out
run
there.
the system to a T, and he's gonna take the check downs and be like Brock Purdy, Tom Brady, whatever, just taking what's there and not overthinking it. Cleveland could be all right for him.
Honestly, wouldn't be the worst place to play quarterback at because the whole fan base is just on the anybody but Deshaun. So they'd have your back. They'd have your
Yeah.
back because you're better than the alternative.
All right, we're moving on to Jack Henderson.
Jack Henderson. Maybe Jack Henderson is a Luke Kuechly kind of guy too, but I don't want to. The Panthers are just ugh, ugh. I
I
don't know
got him
where I
going
do.
seven.
I do have Jack going. Probably seventh round as well.
Yeah.
Later round. Who a team for Jack. I don't know where you fit. Titans. Titans wouldn't be a bad spot.
I got him pairing up with his old teammate, your brother, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeehaw, baby.
Make it happen. Let him play that
Yeehaw.
nickel. Let him play that safety. Let him be blitzing off the edge. Let him just be a demon. Let him
It's
go get it. They
hey,
need some help. They
it's our
need
year.
all the draft help they can get right now.
Apparently, that's their only plan is just to draft everyone
Right.
because
They ain't gonna spend no money.
they ain't picked up one phone call during free
Right.
agency.
They ain't spending no money, so you better get all the draft help. And you know what? He looked like a freak, and guess who was running the DB's workout? The
Love it.
Cowboys DB coach. So let's make it happen.
Love it.
All right, the last one I have getting drafted. Hope gets drafted. Man, please, God, anybody that you believe in, if that's not your jam, like let Daniel Jackson get drafted.
Get this
Let my
man
boy
on a
live.
squad.
Let him live. And so I got him getting drafted seventh round, and I put the Chargers. I got Jim
Ooh,
Harbaugh. Like, you know what? Yeah, I think he could be a late steal. I think he could be our fourth receiver. Justin Herbert needs versatility. We go out and get a big dude early in the draft. Go out and get another like quick speed separation guy in Daniel Jackson later in the draft. Let's make it happen.
yeah. I love that. I love him in the Chargers. My only other team, I have him seventh rounder undrafted, but my other team, I got Patriots on the brain though. But I think he could be the Black Julian Edelman, just fast as hell. It would be great.
Hey, I'm with it. All right, last two names. I just want a team. We're gonna say undrafted for both. Maybe you got Danny going drafted. I can't. That's your boy. I can't hate on that.
I want him
But
drafted
I
so
want to know a team for Strigow and a team for Nick Callop real quick.
See the team for Danny. I thought the Cardinals again. Go back to his boy.
I put
Um,
Tampa. I put Tampa. You know that's
Tampa.
the other Gopher squad
That
down
is
there. You
that
got
is
Winfield. You got Cole. They
the
had
Minnesota
Tyler Johnson
Buccaneers.
for a minute. The Minnesota Buccaneers. Let's get Danny down there too. They like hard work. They like them grit. They like
Yep,
that dog, and they like them late. So Danny Strigow, welcome to Tampa.
I would love that. I would love that. Uh,
All right,
who
Nick
else do we have?
Callop.
Ooh, mm. It's, I mean, he's got to be a Bengal. The red beard. He's got to be a Bengal. He's got to be a Bengal.
I'm gonna
But that would be a
go.
dope spot. That would not be
It
a
would be a
bad
good
spot to
spot.
be. They
It would not be a bad spot at all. But
like
I'm gonna
Joey
go a
Burton.
different one. I'm gonna go a
Okay, who you
different
got?
one because I think he's gonna. I can't say that actually. I was gonna say San Francisco because they just got rid of Juszczyk, but then I think they brought Juszczyk back.
They
So,
signed him. Yep,
never mind
re-signed him.
there. I'm gonna pivot to a San Francisco related coaching tree. We're gonna go Miami. Same
Yep,
role. Make him that fullback,
love
that
that.
H back. Miami next to Florida or next to Tampa, so he can go visit the Minnesota Gophers or the Minnesota Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. But yeah, let's send him to Miami.
Ooh, imagine how that would be rough. It's just a Midwest man. He's like, oh, you have to go live in Miami now.
Oh,
Dang,
this is terrible.
shoot,
Sunshine all the time. God, do I
80
have
degrees in
to?
the winter.
And I
Oh,
get to play football? Oh, God. How terrible.
doing what I love. Crazy.
Man, oh man. All right, final draft related question. Not with these guys. We're looking to the future. I want to know what Gophers you think are on draft radars for this time next year. Any
It's
Gophers that pop out in your mind? I only have four that I think are going to be on the list right now. And I'm curious
immediate
to
one
know.
in my mind is DT.
Absolutely.
He's got
Absolutely.
it. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The
If he
tape
stays
don't
healthy, I think
lie.
he's gone. I think
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
he's
Yeah. Yeah. This might be the last year we can talk about him.
Yep.
If he plays the whole year, this is gonna be the last year we're gonna be talking about
Yep. Yep. The other names I have Anthony Smith.
him. Yep.
People have been asking about him since he stepped on a campus. Great build, great size, great speed, and dude's been showing up more and more. So I
Yep.
think he's going to be there. Devin Eastern, another
Oh yeah.
mammoth of a man,
He
looks
could
the
have went.
part.
I thought he could have potentially went this year if he
I think
wanted.
he could have been in the conversation this year, but
Yeah.
I think he can make it more guaranteed after this
Yeah.
season. I think
No,
he
I
can make
love
it
that.
like instead of putting me as a maybe fringe and trying to fight and scrap my way, if I'm a demon this season,
Yeah.
like sign me up. Where am I going?
Yeah.
I'm getting drafted.
I keep looking at this schedule, dude. And those first three games, I think, are going to be huge confidence boosters for guys like Devin Eastern, who's played. They've played against everybody. They've played
Mm,
against some of the best offensive linemen in the Big Ten multiple times.
right,
And those first three games, you just wreak havoc. Just wreak
right.
havoc on these guys.
Hey, Danny Collins said he's going to be running the Danny Collins Havoc defense.
See?
The Danny Collins
Love that.
Havoc
I
defense. So
love
I
that.
don't know if he did that on purpose, but it looks like it's fate. They're ready to wreak havoc. The last name I have is a potential guy drafted, and I think it might take another year. I don't. I think it might not be next year. It might be a year after. Maverick Baranowski. He's the next
Oh
Gopher
yeah.
linebacker. I think has the potential to get there. Super productive this year. I think he led the team in tackles, or he was second, one of the two. And if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be in the combo.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think he's gonna, especially by that time, if he's gonna, he already has that intelligence level that we always talk about, especially when it comes to linebackers. So I think he definitely has a shot.
All right, to wrap up today's show, we're going to have a little bit of fun on this one. We're going to do a Gophers all-time offensive draft. We're going to go back and forth. Tristyn, you want the first pick or the second pick?
Um, I want the first pick. I do
All
want the
right,
first
so
pick.
this is how it's going to work. For you listening at home, we are going to take one quarterback, three running backs, four wide receivers, two tight ends, and two offensive linemen. Now, we don't have to take them in that order. You can take whoever you want. You just got to fill out your roster. So it's going to go Tristyn first, then me with the second and third pick, then back to Tristyn for the fourth and fifth pick, then back to me for the sixth and seventh, and so on. That's how we're going to get this thing done. So, Tristyn, you are on the clock with the first pick of the Gophers all-time offensive draft. Who do you got going?
All right, first pick. Look, this
That's a lot of
one,
pressure. It's the first pick.
it's the
You got to
first
tell me
pick.
who the ultimate Gopher is, basically, on
It's
offense.
the first pick, and I am very nervous about it. But no, actually, I just switched my first pick. Okay, my 1-1, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Mohammed Ibrahim.
Oh, I see. That's where I was going immediately. I
Oh,
thought
he
when
was
you
going
just
to.
said you were switching, I was
Well,
like,
I was
oh,
at the
are
top.
you
I
going
was
to
going to
leave
go
him for me?
QB. I was going to go QB first. I was going to go QB first, and then I just flipped on it. And I was like, we're talking all-time leading rusher, all-time touchdown.
Oh, I almost got me some Mo on that
We
second pick, man. I
we
was
have
going to
we
be
have seen.
happy.
I was watching. So I don't know if you had the same thing when I was going through. I don't know extreme history of the Gophers, but
Right.
there's a potential like in this modern era. We watched like some of the best Gophers to play at this university,
Oh,
other than
absolutely.
like way back in the 1920s, which is very real. Like they actively had a team like in the 1920s.
Right, right.
And so I was really impressed. Like that 2019 year, that 20 like that whole span was an all time run.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Mo. Take Mo right off the bat.
You know what? I was going to do that, and I almost thought you were going to let me do that with the second pick. So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go with Eric Decker, wide receiver. That's going to be my first pick in the second pick, I guess. Flipping it to the next pick, second round for me, I am going to take. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because you almost did it. I'm going to take Max Brosmer.
Mm. Okay.
Get me the quarterback I believe in the most, and that's no offense to any other quarterbacks in the history of the Gophers, but I truly think what we just watched, if he could have had 3 years here, I don't think we're debating is he getting drafted. I think we're talking about can he go day two. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's how productive he could have been. I think that's how impressive he could have been at the Big Ten level. If you give him 3 years in the Big Ten, I don't think we're talking about is he getting drafted. We're talking about where he's getting drafted.
Oh yeah. I am gonna go ahead and go. So you took Eric Decker,
Mm-hmm.
and you might have grievances with this pick, or not
Uh-oh.
grievances, but I'm gonna go with Bateman. And now hear me out. I know he's not your all-time wide receiver, but this man had 2,300 receptions, 19 touchdowns. But we have to remember he only played for 2.5 years. If
Right,
he would
right.
have played as many years as these other guys, like 4 or 5 years, we're talking 6,000, 7,000 yards. Like this guy was nuts. So I'm gonna go ahead with Bate. I'll
He,
take it.
he was nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Yeah.
mean, he was a first round pick for a reason.
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
Um,
for sure, for sure.
and I'm gonna correct you because the listeners are gonna be nitpicky. There's always that one person,
It's
who's like,
fine.
"Oh my
It's
God,
fine.
you said 2,700 receptions." He meant
No, no, no,
receiving.
no, no,
He
no,
meant
no. 20,
receiving yards.
20.
He
Yeah,
meant
yeah, yeah.
receiving yards.
Receiving yards. Receiving
Yeah,
yards.
2,700 receptions. I mean, crown the man. Like he
With
should
that
have been the
exact
first pick of the
amount of
draft.
receiving yards. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so you got one more.
Oh
Third,
yeah,
first
yeah,
pick
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
Back to
third
back.
round.
Give me. Mm, give me Daryl Thompson.
Oof.
I believe, did he not play for the Packers? Your boy? Daryl
Uh,
Thompson? Did he play
you
for the
know,
Packers?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't pay too much attention to the NFL side
I'm
of that because I
almost
don't think I
positive
was old enough to
it was
pay attention to the.
1986 when he played for the Gophers,
Yeah,
so I do not
so when
blame
I
you.
wasn't old enough, I meant like I wasn't alive. I
Yeah.
wasn't even. But I do know about the man's Gopher
I
history
was gonna
because your
say, I
boy
was
was
gonna say,
studying up on that. And
he
Mo
essentially,
Ibrahim, I heard his name all the time when Mo was like, you know what? Mo's going to go for this record. It was Daryl Thompson's. Mo's
yep.
going for this record. It was Daryl Thompson's. Like, so respect to you. You got the nastiest running back bunch probably of this thing.
Oh yeah, that's running wins games.
So that's the real question. Do I go running back now? Is it time? Because you still got to pick one more running back, or do I just kind of let them fall to me? Whoever falls to me, falls to me. I think I got my quarterback, I got my receiver. So why don't we get another receiver in the mix? We're going Tyler Johnson, all-time
Yeah,
leader in what, receiving yards? Is it
yeah.
receiving yards?
He's got like 3,000 receiving yards.
Yes, all time in receiving yards and in second in receiving yards. The first is Eric Decker. We already got him on the
Oh,
squad. But
you're
the
wide
second
receiver. You
in
over?
receiving yards and first in touchdowns. So we got it all covered over here. Max Brosmer, you're having the ultimate Gophers receiver duo right here. And we're gonna flip it. It's my pick again. You know what? Let's make it a trio. Who do you think I'm gonna take? Which wide receiver am I gonna take, Tristyn?
Uh, your boy D Jack.
I'm not.
Is
I'm
it?
not. He is my boy D Jack, but I'm going Ron Johnson. Shout out
That's the
to the
only other name
legend.
I had written
Shout
down.
out
I
to the
didn't know.
legend. I did some post casts with him all this last season. I got to give credit where credit's due. We're going Ron Johnson.
What kind
We
was
got
it?
the Johnson Bros, or the Johnson family is what we can call this group, with
Oh yeah.
Eric Decker in the mix as well. So I'm liking this team so far. Who do you got on your fourth round pick?
All right, fourth round picks. I am gonna go with. I have two running backs. I need another receiver, huh? Then I'm gonna go ahead and take D Jack.
Dang,
Yeah.
dang.
If you,
I thought maybe
it
you
was it
slip
was
up. He
between the
could be my
two.
fourth.
Whichever one you weren't gonna get, I was gonna get. So I'm gonna take D Jack, and then give me. Are we doing three running backs or two running backs?
Three running backs.
And how many wide receivers? Four.
Four wide receivers.
Hmm. No, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop up my QB.
All
And
right.
this isn't who you think is gonna be. I'm gonna go ahead and take Sandy Stevens.
Ooh.
Quarterback, 1961, first black quarterback at the U of
First
M.
black quarterback.
2 Rose Bowls.
Let's get it.
So boom, that's who I'm taking. I actually watched. I found some clips of him. Dude was kind of a dog. He
Bro,
was
they
kind of
got
fun.
film? You found film from back then?
Dog, yes. If it was legit, 1960, they had cameras in the 60s.
Hey, that's AI. They
You
give
know,
you
I swear to God, if it wasn't him, I would be disappointed. It looked old.
it was in color and everything, huh?
It was crazy. I was like, ooh, he threw a pump, came back.
All right. It's time for your boy to maybe get some receivers. I got three of them. It's time for your boy to get a running back on this thing. Uh You know what? No, it's not. We're gonna we're gonna pivot, and we're gonna go and make you just look absolutely awful for not doing this. I'm gonna take my first tight end, and we're gonna go Brevin Spann-Ford, just
Oh,
to take your brother from you. You know what? You slept too long. You waited too long. That's on you.
what? That's crazy. That's crazy. I was trying not to be biased.
I was biased for you. How about that? Uh, And then I'm gonna use my second pick in this round, and we're gonna get our other tight end. We're gonna go Max Williams. Max Williams, let's get it. Tristan's gonna
I
be
don't,
I mean, there's one good answer left
well,
for tight
yeah. I
end, but
mean,
after that, I don't know. I don't know what you gonna do on that one. You better hit the Google machine, because
this is
I
crazy.
know you don't know
This
more
is.
than one more.
Oh no, I'm good. I got it. I got my tight ends. I'm good. I got my tight ends. I got them.
All right, it's your turn.
I'm good. Shoot. Okay. Do I need another receiver still? No,
Yeah, you
I
need
need a
two more
third running
receivers.
back.
You need one more running back, two more receivers, and then you got
You ain't
both
got
tight
no running
ends.
backs yet.
I don't have any running backs left yet. I'm comfortable with the running backs that are left still. I'm in good spot still. I think I'm all right.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna take Lawrence Maroney then.
Oof, that one hurt a little bit. I'm not
That's
gonna
what I'm
lie to
about to.
you.
Because I'm pretty sure I got the top three right there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that one cut deep. But
And then give me. I'm not going to take a tight end right now because I only got so many left. Let me see. I gotta give me. I need another receiver, don't I?
yes, you do.
Hmm.
You need two O line, two tight ends, two receivers. You got twos left, pairs of twos.
Give me.
I'm surprised you ain't said your boy. I thought for sure you were gonna take your boy.
Wait. What am I missing?
Leave him for me. It's all right. Leave him for me.
You got
Hey,
me
his
tripping.
draft clock is about to run out.
All right, give me Daniel Faalele as an offensive
Oh,
lineman.
there it is. There it is. All right, you got some time to do some research if you need
Yeah, for
to. I got
real.
2 picks on the clock right here. All right, so Tristyn takes the first offensive lineman off the board. It is time for me to. I'm not going to do that. If I do that, you're going to be so sad, so I won't. I'm going to take an offensive lineman as well. I am going to go. I'm going to go back to back offensive lineman just for you, and because you can't take any running backs anymore, I might as well just hold off till the end and
Yeah,
fill
that's
my
true.
whole
That's where
running
I'm at
back.
on tight ends.
I'm gonna go with Greg Eislinger as my first offensive lineman. Tristyn's probably like, "Yo, I know I'm a
Never.
Gopher fan, but like that's going deep for me."
Yep.
But Greg Eislinger won both the Outland Trophy and the Remington Trophy as an offensive lineman. The dude was a dog. And then we're going to go ahead and get the other absolute dog in the one we were just talking about earlier in Ariante Ursary
Oh,
as my
that's tough.
other
That's tough.
offensive lineman.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and knock on my tight ends. Then give me the boy, Kokeef,
Kokeeft.
and then I'll take Matt Spieth, obviously
Yes, sir.
the all-time. Yeah, he's probably the all-time tight end, probably the best tight end, right?
Yeah, I think he has the most
Most
yardage of any
yards.
tight end with 1,293.
We don't
Uh,
have a luxurious list of tight ends coming out of here, but we got
but
guys. We got
he also
guys.
had 4 years of receiving yards, right? Whereas my boy Max Williams
Yeah, that's
only
true.
had 2 years and he had 986 yards. So I think Max Williams has a
And more
case to
touchdowns.
be
More
the all
touchdowns
time.
too.
Yep. So I'm still happy with my picks, but you
Okay.
got 3 left. I got 4 left. We do the flip here for myself. So let's go ahead and let's take our last. No, I got to put some respect on the running backs' names. I know I'm trying to give you your boy because I still don't think you've taken your boy yet. And if you leave him to me at the very end, you're going to feel so bad. So
I
uh,
am
I'm
shook
going to
right now.
go running.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go running
I'm tripping.
back. Let's go with Marion the Barbarian. Let's get Marion Barber out
Yeah.
there on the running back squad. And then my second running back that we're going to do is ready for this one? Bruce Smith, the only Heisman in Minnesota history.
Back to
Let's get
back
it.
national champion.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, back to back national champion.
Yes, sir.
Probably a racist because he was born in 1921. Or he played
Hey,
in
hey,
1921.
he was in the North, bro. I
That's just
mean, this
facts,
is
bro. I'm
this
just
is
saying,
way
that's
under.
just facts. This man was born in the 1800s.
Hey, I'm never gonna assume the worst. I might internally, but I'm not gonna say it externally.
I'm playing. There was good people everywhere. I'm just joking.
Tristan's about to get
I
canceled by Gopher Nation
I
for
know
speaking
people are gonna
ill
be
of our
mad. It was just
1920s
a
Heisman.
joke. It was a joke. I was kidding.
All right,
Never
but
assume the worst of people.
you got two receivers, one O lineman left. You got 2 picks back to back. What do you got?
Two receivers, Chris Ottman Bell.
There it is. You were gonna be so
I
hurt
would
if
have
I
been
snagged him from
heartbroken.
you,
I
bro.
would have called him. I'd have called him. I just saw him last weekend. I'd have called him and been like, I did something. I did a bad thing. I did a bad thing, dog. I'm so sorry. Oh man. Um, Okay, what do I need left? What do I need
You either
left?
have one wide receiver, one offensive lineman. You got one pick, and then I have my final two, and then you'll wrap the whole thing up.
One receiver and one offensive lineman. Hmm. I have done not a lot of research in the offensive lineman. Give me John Michael Schmitz.
There
Still in
it
the
is.
league, baby. Still in the league.
Still in the league. I ain't gonna be mad at you for that one. He was
No, that's a
definitely
good
on my
pick.
list. No,
That's
no,
solid.
not at all. All right, and then I'm going back to back picks here. I got one running back, one receiver. We're gonna give us a little bit of time on that final running back. So I'm gonna go receiver. Let's go with Ernie Wheelwright. Ernie
Oh,
Wheelwright, he did some damage in the early 2000s, but you know what? His touchdown numbers are just extremely impressive to me. I didn't get to watch him very much. I believe I was,
we were
2004, I would have been like third grade.
we were
So
youths. We were not
we
even
were
10.
youths. I
Not
was
even
all
10.
about colors. I wasn't about players. I
I
wasn't
was
about
I was worried.
programs. I wasn't
I was
about.
worried about what was going on with Buddy on Blues Clues. Where did he
Right,
go? Why
right.
is he gone?
I was like, that team, I'll root for them because they got some cool uniforms. Like, what's going on? But Ernie Wheelwright, respect to 2,434 yards in his career, but 26 touchdowns, which is third in program history. So I got the number one receiver in touchdowns in program history, the number two receiver in program history for touchdowns, the number three receiver for program history for touchdowns, and the number four receiver in program history for touchdowns. Let's go. And then my final pick, my final running back.
It's Minnesota. We run the ball. We run the ball.
We do run the ball in Minnesota. There's some options here, and I feel like I could be really wrong with this. Uh, so I'm torn. I'm torn between two running backs right here. This is why I kind of let running back fall to me because I thought I had some options, but now I feel wrong having
I
to
have
choose
right.
between two of these people. And the two people that I'm stuck between is Rodney Smith, who is a stud,
Oh,
all-time
very.
Gophers running back,
Oh yeah.
or taking the upside, the hope, and the love that I have of Darius Taylor. So maybe it's bias. Maybe
Yep.
it's like, recency bias, and everybody's gonna be like, whoa, why
That's
the
fine.
hell would you not take Rodney Smith?
But
But I went old school. I
yep.
went old school with Bruce Smith. I got the oldest running back
You
on the
got to
squad.
mix it up. You need
I
you
went
need a
old
young
school,
buck. You
and
need
we
a
got
young buck.
Marion the Barbarian. So if you're talking about Bruce, he was elusive. He was fast for his time. Then you look at Marion, he's clean up. He's getting the red zone touchdowns. He's getting the bully work, the short and goal. But Darius Taylor does it all. I want the best dual threat running back I think the Gophers have had. I'm taking Darius Taylor. Sign me up. Let's get it.
I love that. I love that. What now that we're done? We're done with running backs now, right?
Yep, they're all off. You're
Can't
wrapping this
believe
whole thing up right here with a wide receiver. That's it.
I can't believe nobody took Bronco Nagruski.
I see. I keep thinking of him
Mm-hmm.
like on the defensive side of the
Yeah,
ball. I
he
know
played
he
both
played
ways.
offense too. I
Yep.
know he did, but like I
He's got
always
a
picture him
he's got a
as
statue.
right, right. No, I thought
Or
about it.
no,
I
not a
thought
statue,
about
an
it.
award. Doesn't he have an award?
He has an award. He does
Yeah,
have an
there it
award.
is.
I did think about it, but I always see him as a like linebacker or defensive player, so I couldn't do
Okay. So here I am on sportsreference.com.
it.
Am I tripping? Tutu Atwell?
No, it's Pops. It's Pops Tutu
His dad?
Atwell. It's Pops Tutu Atwell
What?
Senior, brother, senior.
Again, people don't be mad. 1994 to 97, we were not born yet. I was not here yet. But I had no clue his dad played here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm going to take him because he had more receiving yards than Ernie Wheelwright.
There it is. There it
So,
is. He is locked in. We got our two squads. I will post these on Twitter, and we're gonna drop a poll. We'll see if Gophers Nation runs with it. Watch, we're only gonna get like 5 votes or something like that. It's not
yeah,
really gonna
probably.
matter.
It's okay.
But I
I don't
hope
care.
that they run with it. I hope we get like 100 votes and it's
People
tied
are
or
going
it's
to be
down to the wire.
so mad. They're going to be so mad.
They are gonna be so mad. They're gonna
Yeah.
be mad that Nagurski wasn't on here, but we have an
Yeah.
excuse for that. They're gonna be mad
Tanner
that
was on.
Rodney Smith did not get drafted, which I mean, love to him, but there's some dogs out there.
Tanner almost
And
had 10,000 yards and I didn't take him. I just took Sandy. I took Sandy
bro,
Stevens.
I don't think you're gonna get hate for Sandy Stevens. I don't think
No,
you're gonna
because
get
if
hate for
they
that at
hate
all.
them, that makes them racist. So
There it is, folks. You can't, and if you hate on mine, with Bruce
Oh,
Smith, you're also racist because you know what?
exactly.
Running backs, white running backs are great too.
Oh, how
But
the
overall,
turntables.
all right, we're both going to get canceled for talking about race on a football podcast
I
because
know, it's
everybody's like, step
crazy.
away from politics.
We're just being fun.
Yay, you know what? We'll find out. We'll
Let him
find out.
hate. It's fine.
Anyways,
It's
that's going to
fine.
do it for us. Here's the final teams before we sign off here. Tristyn has Sandy Stevens at quarterback. Then he's got Mo Ibrahim, Daryl Thompson, and Lawrence Maroney at running backs. My goodness, that's a trio.
Yes.
Then he's got wide receivers Rashad Bateman, Daniel Jackson, Chris Alvin Bell, and Tutu Atwell. Then he's got tight ends Cole Keeft and Matt Spaeth. And then he's got offensive linemen Daniel Falele and John Michael Schmitz. A lot of NFL talent, a lot of dudes on that.
Deep.
On the flip
Deep.
side, your boy Kane Robb, Max Brosmer at quarterback, Marion the Barbarian with Bruce Smith and Darius Taylor as the running backs, Eric Decker, Tyler Johnson, Ron Johnson, and Ernie Wheelwright as the receivers, then Brevin Spann-Ford and Max Williams as tight ends, and Greg Eslinger and Ariante Ursery as your offensive lineman. Let us know in the comments on YouTube who you think won the draft. Let us know who we didn't draft that we are absolutely just downright shameful for and all of that jazz. But we hope you hit subscribe on the podcast. Tell other Gopher fans about it. This is a Gopher Broke podcast once a week, every week for you talking Gophers till 2025 hits. Let's get it. Any final words for the folks?
Nah, man. I'm so excited. It's March. So this is the only weekend I will allow everyone to stop thinking about football. One weekend you can watch hoops.
You get one freebie, so you better cash in.
But after this
Also,
weekend, we back.
apologies to Rodney Smith. I know I should have took you, but I couldn't do it. Much love. Gopher Broke podcast signing off. We'll see you next week.